Most people think rich families stay wealthy because of big salaries, lucky breaks, or powerful connections. But the real reason? It's something far more practical, and something you can start applying today. Rich families don't just make money. They build systems, habits, and mindsets that quietly protect and multiply their wealth for decades. Generation after generation. And here's the part nobody tells you. You don't need a high income to start doing the same. You just need the right knowledge, and the discipline to use it. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. I'm not a financial expert or advisor. Everything I share here comes from real-life experiences, continuous research, and many hours of reading about how money truly works over time. I'm simply someone learning and sharing what has actually made a difference. So in this video, we're breaking down the habits and strategies wealthy families use. The ones most people were never taught, but absolutely should have been. Let's get started. 1. They teach money early, not when it's too late. Have you ever stopped to think that the biggest advantage wealthy kids have isn't the inheritance, but the financial education they receive from a very young age? While most people only learn how to manage money in adulthood, often out of pure necessity, rich families treat money like a second language, introduced early in childhood. In this chapter, we're going to explore the 5 essential lessons wealthy families pass on to their children, lessons that shape a mindset capable of building and protecting wealth for generations. And the first one is one of the most important of all. 1. Delayed gratification, the art of learning to wait. In a world of, buy now, pay later, wealthy families teach their kids to value patience, and to understand that time can be their greatest financial ally. Concepts like investing, saving, and compound interest are introduced as forms of delayed gratification, the idea that waiting now can lead to a much bigger reward later. Instead of buying everything their kid wants immediately, wealthy parents encourage conversations about saving toward a bigger goal. They create situations where the child chooses between an instant reward and a more meaningful future benefit. And this skill becomes crucial for lifelong financial decisions. But it's not just about waiting. It's also about learning how to make money work for you. 2. Passive income, making money while you sleep. You've heard the saying, time is money, right? Wealthy families take this very seriously. They teach early on that passive income, money earned without trading hours for it, is one of the true keys to financial freedom. Whether it's affiliate marketing, rental properties, or dividend-paying stocks, passive income helps increase quality of life without increasing working hours. Through real examples, parents show that it is possible to earn money even when you're not actively working. And this understanding pushes kids to think about diversified, smarter sources of income. But earning more is useless if you spend even more. That's where the next principle comes in. 3. Beware of the lifestyle inflation trap. As income increases, it becomes tempting to upgrade everything, a nicer car, more luxurious trips, the newest gadgets. This is what we call lifestyle inflation. And wealthy families teach their kids to avoid it at all costs. The lesson is simple. Just because you can buy something doesn't mean you should. They show that long-term stability and success depend on making intentional choices, like investing extra money into assets instead of pouring everything into short-term upgrades that bring no return. And to make those intentional choices, you need to understand how money actually moves. 4. Profit and loss, the real math behind money. What's the best way to learn about profit and loss? Experiencing it firsthand. Wealthy families often use simple activities, like a lemonade stand, to teach the fundamentals of money. Parents might act as the bank, lending the startup money for supplies. Kids calculate pricing, estimate how many cups they need to sell, repay the loan, and see how much profit remains in the end. This hands-on experience makes the relationship between revenue, expenses, and profit crystal clear, no textbooks needed. But none of this works without something even more important. 5. Making money conversations normal. In many households, money is a taboo, something people avoid discussing until there's a problem. But in wealthy families, money is treated as a normal, open topic from an early age. They demystify financial management by talking openly about how money flows, why saving matters, and how investing builds the future. One of the habits they model the most is paying yourself first, treating savings and investments like fixed monthly expenses. They also encourage children to save part of their allowance, birthday money, or small business profits, helping them build a healthy, proactive relationship with money. In the end, wealthy families don't just pass down money. They pass down mindsets, skills, and financial wisdom. And it all starts with one conversation at a time. 2. They live below their means, even when they could spend more. Living below your means simply means spending less than you earn. It means having money left over at the end of the month. It means breaking the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. And why is this so powerful? A client once told me something unforgettable. Spending money is like transferring your wealth to someone else. Think about that. Every dollar you spend can no longer be used to build your future. It's no longer available to invest, save, or pay off debt. Living below your means is basically saying yes to more money, and more options, in the future. Before making any big purchase, the key question to ask is spending this money now more important than reaching my short and long-term goals? And the benefits go far beyond your bank account. 2. The invisible dividends, what you gain by not spending everything. When you master this habit, you don't just enrich your finances, you enrich your life. And it shows up in 4 major areas. Benefit 1, stronger relationships. How much stress in a marriage or family comes from money issues? What if that pressure simply disappeared? When you and your partner are in control of your finances, and working toward the same goals, your relationship strengthens and the whole atmosphere at home changes. Benefit 2, a life with less stress. It may sound counterintuitive, but retail therapy, buying things to feel better, is an illusion. The temporary happiness disappears when the bill arrives. Living below your means removes that emotional roller coaster and the anxiety of wondering whether the bills will fit into the budget. Benefit 3, the happiness of anticipation. Remember the last time you planned a trip months in advance? Half of the joy came from the anticipation itself. Research shows that planning and saving for something creates weeks or even months of excitement. Instant gratification, on the other hand, gives you a quick high, followed by a crash when it's over. Benefit 4, career flexibility. When your expenses are low, you build a safety cushion, and that cushion gives you power. Power to make smarter career decisions instead of desperate ones. Power to wait for the right job, switch to a field you love, or even start your own business, without the pressure of maintaining an inflated lifestyle. Everything sounds great in theory, but how do you put it into practice? It all starts with the big decisions. 3. The 3 big traps, master your high-impact purchases. The secret to living below your means is keeping your big expenses under control. These decisions shape your budget for years. Here are the top 3. Housing, forget what the bank says you can afford. Your mortgage can eat up 20% to 40% of your income. It's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. A solid rule of thumb. Buy a home worth no more than 2 to 3 times your annual household income. And ignore the maximum amount the bank approves. They calculate based on gross income, but you live on net income. Use the 125% rule. Take the projected monthly payment and multiply it by 1.25. Can you comfortably afford that amount, including taxes and maintenance? Cars, the ultimate depreciation machine. A brand new car loses around 20% of its value in the first year. You're paying $1 for something that will be worth 80 cents in 12 months. Keep your car's value under 50% of your annual income, or keep the payment at no more than 10% of your take-home pay. Ask yourself, would you rather drive a $35,000 car? Or drive a $20,000 car and have $15,000 left for trips, investments, or paying off debt. Home renovations, treat them as an expense, not an investment. Renovations almost always cost 25% more and take longer than expected. Yes, they can increase your home's value, but rarely dollar for dollar. So do upgrades for comfort, not as an investment. Use the same 125% rule when budgeting a remodel. But what about the small expenses? Those are the sneakiest ones. 4. The transaction count trick, a simple way to control daily spending. Big purchases are easy to track. The real danger often hides in the small, frequent ones. I'm not going to ask you to track every cent. Instead, here's a much easier method. Count how many times you spend money each day. Every coffee, every snack, every online purchase, each one is a transaction. Your goal, keep it between 2 and 4 transactions per day. If you already bought your morning coffee and you know you'll order dinner later, that's 2. You still have 2 card swipes left for the rest of the day. This instantly increases your awareness. And by reducing frequency, you often reduce your spending by 25% or more, without feeling deprived. Use a budgeting app to track this visually. If you're hitting more than 150 transactions a month, there's huge room for improvement. 5. Your action plan, 2 habits you can start today. Putting all of this into practice is simpler than it sounds. Habit 1, the 50-50 rule. When you get a raise, a bonus, or any extra money, the temptation is to spend everything. Fight that urge with the 50-50 rule. Use half to build wealth, investing or paying off debt. And half to enjoy, consciously. You grow financially and still enjoy life. Habit 2, track to improve. The first step is knowing where your money is actually going. Most people underestimate their expenses. Track your spending for 1 month. Only then create a realistic budget. Knowledge is power. Living below your means isn't about restriction. It's about freedom, the freedom to choose your future, your career, and the quality of your relationships. It's the foundation on which every bit of wealth is built. 3. They prioritize ownership, not consumption. What separates the truly wealthy isn't just the number in their bank account. It's a radical shift in mindset. While most people consume, they create. While many spend, they acquire. I've seen this firsthand, in my career and even in conversations with friends. There's always that moment of silence followed by, "Wait, they really do that?" Yes. They do. And these habits, often counterintuitive, are exactly what keep the middle class confused, and the wealthy, well, wealthier. Today, we're breaking down the 8 pillars behind this mindset. And the first one is the most important of all. 1. The silent acquisition game, assets versus status. You know the saying, the rich get richer. The number one reason is simple. They buy assets, things that put money in their pocket, not liabilities, things that take it out. While many people plan their next car upgrade or remodel, the wealthy are thinking about how their money can work for them through stocks, real estate, or business ownership. As Morgan Housel, author of The Psychology of Money, puts it, wealth is what you don't see. It's the cars they didn't buy. The watches they didn't wear. It's not about not enjoying life, it's about placing wealth-building ownership above the need to show off. And this mindset changes everything, even the way they think about the process itself. 2. The financial chess strategy, they see money as a game. Have you ever noticed how some wealthy people talk about money with excitement, not stress? For them, building wealth is a strategic game. It's about understanding new markets, optimizing taxes, spotting opportunities, and pulling off a great deal. Meanwhile, the middle-class mindset is often to play not to lose, saving, budgeting, and hoping to retire safely. There's nothing wrong with that. But wealthy people lean into calculated risks. They see a setback not as a failure, but as just another move on the board. And to win that game, you need the right players on your team. 3. The dream team approach. They hire experts, not just spend money. Hiring a financial advisor, a tax strategist, or a career coach. Most people see that as unnecessary luxury. The wealthy see it as a strategic investment. They understand they don't need to be experts in everything, they just need access to the right experts. It's the same logic as hiring a personal trainer. Why spend years guessing when you can get a proven roadmap to results? But there's one resource they value even more than money. 4. The most valuable currency. They know time is irreplaceable. This one surprises most people. The wealthy often value time more than money. That's why they pay for convenience without hesitation: cleaning services, grocery delivery, direct flights. It's not about being fancy. It's about understanding that time is the only resource you can't get back. A former client once told me, "I can always make more money. I can't make more time." That single realization changes the way you make every decision in life. And this mindset even shapes the way they communicate. 5. The strategy circle. They talk about money openly. While many families treat money as a taboo subject, wealthy people discuss finances openly, with partners, children, and trusted peers. But here's the key. They're not bragging. They're planning. Learning. Sharing strategies. A FINRA study showed that people who talk about money regularly have higher financial literacy and confidence. Silence creates ignorance. Openness creates opportunity. And their quest for growth doesn't stop at conversations. 6. The idea factory. They invest heavily in their brain. Books, courses, seminars, mentors. Wealthy people invest serious money in education, and not just formal education. They understand that the mind is their most valuable asset. While someone might hesitate to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a course, the wealthy see it as an investment that can return 10 times through new insights, new skills, new connections, or even one single game-changing idea. As a mentor once told me, the return on investment in knowledge is unmatched, if you actually use it. And all of this leads to one of the most interesting patterns. 7. The freedom of anonymity. They separate status from spending. This is one of the most fascinating contrasts. While popular culture links wealth with luxury brands, many truly wealthy people don't feel the need to show off. They don't equate spending with self-worth. They know real status doesn't come from looking rich, but from being free. Free to choose how they spend their time. Free to choose whom they spend it with. That's why a billionaire might drive an old pickup, while someone living paycheck to paycheck finances a luxury SUV. The difference isn't the price, it's the mindset. And finally, we get to the broadest mindset of all. 8. The perpetual legacy. They plan for generations, not the next year. Most people think in one-year goals or 5-year plans. Wealthy families think in decades, sometimes centuries. They create trusts, build family offices, and teach financial literacy early. They don't just want to build wealth, they want to preserve it. A friend once told me her grandfather held monthly family meetings about legacy planning. He'd always say, "We don't inherit money. We inherit stewardship." Stewardship meaning responsibility. It's a mindset that turns heirs into managers, not spenders. So take a moment and reflect. Which of these mindsets resonates with you the most? Which one could you start applying today? In the end, wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your mind. If you're enjoying this journey into the mindset that builds real, lasting wealth, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. And remember, you don't need to be rich to start thinking like the wealthy. But thinking like the wealthy can be the first step toward transforming your financial future. 4. They plan long-term, not just for today. Money can be regained. An investment can go up and down. But there's one resource that, once spent, is gone forever: time. And if there's one thing wealthy people guard even more fiercely than their money, it's their hours. While most people rush from task to task, the wealthy operate on a different frequency. They are intentional, precise, and masters at deciding where every minute of their life will go. Today, you'll learn the 5 habits that allow them to do just that. And the first habit targets one of the biggest productivity killers out there. 1. The death of zombie meetings, why they eliminate aimless conversations. For most people, meetings are black holes that swallow productivity. For the wealthy, meetings are strategic tools. Their rule is simple: every meeting must have a clear purpose and a defined outcome. They don't show up to align or share ideas without direction. They arrive prepared, with a clear agenda, and leave with a decision made or a next step locked in. Preparation is the secret weapon. A well-planned meeting collapses hours of confusion into minutes of clarity. They refuse to let priceless hours disappear into conversations that go nowhere. But their time-saving strategy goes far beyond meetings. It reaches into the smallest daily tasks. 2. The art of strategic outsourcing, buying hours for your life. Ask yourself, why would you spend time doing something someone else can do for you? Wealthy people understand the value of time over money. They outsource cleaning, accounting, maintenance, and they do it without guilt. It's not laziness. It's pure efficiency. By paying others to handle low-impact tasks, they buy back time, which they reinvest into high-value activities, creativity, business strategy, deep rest, or anything that recharges their mind. It's a smart trade that dramatically boosts both their productivity and quality of life. But none of this matters if the mindset behind it is wrong. 3. The solution engine, how they turn problems into leverage. How do you react when a problem appears? Most people enter the complaint mode. The wealthy enter solution mode. They see problems not as obstacles but as stepping stones for growth. This proactive mindset fuels innovation. While some get stuck in frustration, they're already adapting and moving forward. They take ownership of the situation, and that ownership makes them remarkably resilient. This resilience is protected by another key principle. 4. The mirror journey, competing only with who you were yesterday. Comparing yourself to others is a thief of joy and one of the biggest time wasters. Wealthy individuals stay fiercely focused on their own journey. They know success is personal. Instead of worrying about the colleague's new car or the influencer's lifestyle, they compare themselves only to their past self. The real question is, how have I improved since last year? This inward focus creates a positive environment for real growth. It removes external pressure and allows them to celebrate progress, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling life. And finally, the pillar that holds all others together. 5. The end of excuses, owning the author role in their own life. Blaming luck, the boss, the economy, or circumstances is giving away your power. Wealthy people practice radical responsibility. They take ownership of their actions and their results, good or bad. This doesn't mean bad things don't happen to them. They do. The difference is how they respond. Instead of asking, "Why me?" they ask, "What was my part in this? What can I learn from it?" This mindset is empowering. It turns every setback into a stepping stone. They know waiting for luck is not a strategy. Opportunities are created through discipline, work, and planning. They are the architects of their own future. Take a moment to reflect. Which of these time thieves drains the most energy from your life? Endless meetings? Tasks you could outsource? Or the habit of comparing yourself to others? Remember, wealth isn't just about having money in the bank. It's about having time on your schedule and clarity in your mind to live the life you truly want. Important note: I am not a financial advisor or a specialist in personal finance or investing. I'm simply sharing what I've been learning through life experience, consistent research, and a lot of reading on the topic. 5. They pass down financial habits, not just money. The true legacy of a wealthy family isn't what you can see. It's not the cars, the houses, or the bank accounts. The real legacy is invisible. It lives in the financial habits passed down from generation to generation. Money speaks, but not through numbers. It whispers through behavior, in the way someone invests without hesitation, in the calm confidence of a parent who knows they can educate their children without falling into debt. The truth is simple: wealthy families don't rely on high salaries or luck. They build powerful routines that protect, grow, and multiply every dollar that comes in. And if you've ever wondered what these secret habits look like in practice, today we're revealing them all. Everything starts with the golden rule, the first and most important habit. 1. The most important customer, the pay yourself first rule. Imagine your paycheck arrives, and before you pay the power bill, the rent, or the credit card, you pay yourself first. That's exactly what wealthy people do. They treat their savings and investments as the most important bill of the month. A portion of their income is automatically set aside for the future before any other expense has the chance to consume it. This simple habit, pay yourself first, is the foundation of everything. It's how compound interest begins working silently on your behalf, turning discipline into real wealth over time. But the money you pay yourself only works if you don't immediately spend it. 2. The secret of invisible spending, living below your means, is a superpower. Wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much you don't spend. Wealthy people understand this deeply. Even with high incomes, they maintain conscious lifestyles that stay below their maximum spending potential. This discipline protects them from lifestyle creep, the dangerous habit of increasing expenses every time income rises. Financial freedom doesn't come from what you show the world. It comes from what you don't need to spend. But discipline without direction leads nowhere. You need a map. 3. The treasure map, the power of written goals. Vague thoughts like, one day I'll be rich, build nothing. The wealthy turn wishes into written, concrete goals, like buying a property in 5 years or reaching a specific investment amount in 10. They don't just write these goals. They revisit them often. This clarity is incredibly powerful. It fuels consistent action and makes every financial decision smarter because you know exactly where every dollar is taking you. And to reach those goals safely, you can't depend on just one path. 4. The wealth web, why one income stream is never enough. For most people, wealth comes from a single source, the paycheck. For the wealthy, the salary is only one of several income streams. They build a web of earnings, rentals, stock dividends, side businesses, royalties. This diversification isn't a luxury. It's a safety strategy. If one stream dries up, the others keep the structure standing. That's what provides resilience during any financial crisis. And to manage all of that effectively, they understand the supreme value of 5. Buy time, not just things, strategic outsourcing. The most precious resource wealthy people have is not money, it's time. And they don't hesitate to use the first to buy more of the second. Hiring an accountant, an assistant, a personal trainer, or a cleaning service isn't about status. It's about freedom. It's a smart financial move that frees up hours for what truly matters: thinking, strategizing, growing their businesses, and living with intention. And what do they do with that freed up time? They invest in the most valuable asset they own. 6. The idea bank, investing in knowledge has the best ROI. Wealthy people are hungry learners. They invest heavily in books, courses, mentorships, and workshops. They understand that the world evolves, and knowledge is what allows them to adapt and capitalize on new opportunities. This habit of continuous learning keeps their financial skills sharp and relevant. While others stagnate, they evolve. The return on investment from learning? Often unlimited. And finally, the principle that governs everything. 7. Money should work harder than you, the rule of money in motion. Money sitting still in a savings account is money losing to inflation. For wealthy people, money must always be in motion, invested, generating returns, working tirelessly. They dislike the idea of idle capital. They believe money should always be chasing the best opportunity available. This mindset completes the cycle. It's the belief that money isn't meant to be hidden, it's meant to be employed. And there you have it, 7 habits that form the real inheritance. Notice something? None of these habits involve a magic trick or a secret formula. They're about consistency and mindset. The greatest gift wealthy parents give their children isn't a big bank account. It's the knowledge of how to make that bank account grow, no matter where life takes them. 6. They avoid the mistakes most people make. We've reached our final chapter. And what if I told you that building wealth often has less to do with getting everything right, and much more to do with simply avoiding the big mistakes? The truth is, wealthy people aren't superhuman. They just follow disciplined strategies and, most importantly, they recognize and sidestep the common traps that pull most people down. Today, you're going to discover the 3 biggest strategic pitfalls they avoid at all costs. And the first one is especially dangerous because it creates a false sense of saving money. 1. The "I'll do it myself" fallacy, why they don't play financial chess alone. How many times have you thought, a financial advisor? That's expensive. I can handle this myself. This mindset is one of the biggest barriers to growth. Wealthy individuals understand that the cost of a financial mistake is almost always far greater than a professional's fee. They don't see an advisor as an expense, they see one as a trained navigator. In the middle of political shifts, economic crises, or complex tax laws, an experienced advisor acts like a GPS. They help adjust the route, uncover hidden opportunities, and guide smart decisions that protect and expand wealth. Why guess your way through the dark when you can hire someone who already has the map? But even with the best advisor in the world, one crucial strategy can never be ignored. 2. The art of not putting all your eggs in one basket, smart diversification. Imagine putting all your money into a single stock, or a single property. Risky, right? That's exactly why wealthy people avoid this with everything they've got. Diversification isn't a suggestion, it's a requirement for anyone serious about building wealth. They never concentrate their capital in one single asset class. Instead, they build a resilient portfolio with a strategic mix of stocks for growth, bonds for stability, real estate for tangible income, private equity for exclusive opportunities. And they go further, they diversify internationally to protect themselves from local crises, and they regularly rebalance their portfolios to stay aligned with their long-term goals. That's how they sleep peacefully, knowing that if one part of the economy stumbles, the others keep them steady. And finally, the most silent pitfall of all, because it drains your wealth without making any noise. 3. The invisible enemy, how they keep the government from taking more than it should. Have you ever stopped to calculate how much of your income goes straight to taxes? For wealthy people, this isn't a rhetorical question, it's a key strategic concern. They understand that taxes are one of the biggest lifetime expenses. And because of that, they work actively with advisors to structure their income, investments, and inheritance in a legal and tax-efficient way. The master move. Taking full advantage of tax-advantaged accounts, whether it's a retirement account, an education savings plan, or any other tool available. These vehicles ensure more of their money stays exactly where it should be. With them, working for them, not for the government. Ignoring this is simply accepting a bill much higher than necessary. Take a moment and reflect. Which of these pitfalls is your biggest challenge today? Is it the hesitation to seek professional help? Putting too much of your money in one place? Or letting taxes take a bigger slice than they should? Remember, the path to a financially prosperous life is built not only on the right choices you make, but also on the big mistakes you avoid. This series has been all about uncovering the habits and mindsets that create real, lasting wealth. Now, the next step is yours. Choose one principle, one habit, and start today. You're richer, for your future self will thank you. Conclusion: what anyone can start doing today. If you didn't come from a wealthy family, you can be the one who breaks the cycle. You can be the one who sets a new standard. And years from now, someone in your family will look back and say, it all started with them. Wealth isn't built in a moment, it's built in the moments you decide to change. And today can be that moment. If this video inspired you or opened your eyes to something new, make sure you like, subscribe to my wealth guide, and share it with someone who needs this message. There's a lot more coming your way. Stay focused, stay curious. And I'll see you in the next video.